So here's a video illustrating the kind of chords you can play if you have a bass player for Autumn Leaves. We played full roots, meaning the roots were in the bass. C major 7, F sharp half diminished, B 7 flat 9, E minor 7. So instead, because the bass player will lines like that, and a walking bass line if we're going to swing it. And so the best thing to do is to play just 4 notes and higher notes. And I wanted to just do the simplest procedure for that, or the simplest voice leading for it. So your A minor 7 chord is going to be this. It's just a bar across the 5th fret, and you have the 7th, G, the 3rd, C, the 5th, E, and the root is actually the highest note. Really easy to play. Then for the D9, we're actually going to play the highest part with no root. We're not playing the root. There's the root. Because the bass player will play the root, and if we play this, it'll work with it. It'll sound good. This actually ends up being the same fingering for an F sharp minor 7 flat 5 or a F sharp half diminished chord, because in the top part of a D9 chord, if you go from the 3rd F sharp, you'll have a half diminished chord. Kind of interesting. It's good. It's good to know that. So I can use that configuration. As you can see, F sharp, C natural, E, A. And then the major 7, G major 7 is going to look like this. I'm going to take these 3 notes. Again, notice that it's just covering all 3 on the same fret. I'm going to move it up, and move it up in pitch is what I mean. And then it's going to the 7th fret, and then the root of the chord is going to be right here. It's going to be with your first finger on the 4th string, 5th fret, G major 7. Then you bar the 5th fret again, but this time you're going to put your pinky or your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 1st string to create G, or rather C major 7. Then the chord that follows that is F sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is the chord we used. That really is the chord. Same configuration that we used for D9. And then for B7 flat 9, it's the same as. So I'm turning this chord, F sharp half diminished, into a F sharp fully diminished, or we can call it a D sharp fully diminished. Same thing. There's D sharp fully diminished, F sharp fully diminished, A fully diminished, and then C fully diminished. Every note that's in the chord is also in whatever sort of configuration we want to make it in. Put the root in, sorry. So anyway, that fingering is half diminished, that is fully diminished. That's what you want to play for B7 flat 9. And then finally the E minor, instead of making E minor 7, because if I do that and I include the D, it's going to just sound like a G major chord. It's cool, it sounds pretty cool, but I think in terms of what our ears hear, I think I'll just make it an E minor chord in first inversion. So it's G, B, E, and then another G. So those are all the important chords. A minor 7, D9, just like F sharp half diminished, G major 7, C major 7, F sharp half diminished, F sharp fully diminished, being used for B7 flat 9, E minor. Okay? Those are all the chords that you're going to use. The only time that you're going to do something different is when you go to what we call the turnaround. There's a turnaround near the last part of the phrase where it goes E minor, A7, D minor, G7. That's a turnaround in the song. In the song we went A minor, A7, D minor 7, G7. really basic root chords. Well, now we're going to do E minor, same chord. Then for A7, I am going to bar the 5th fret, but I'm going to put my second finger on C sharp because I need C sharp for A dominant 7. Okay, so bar, put your finger on C sharp, play those 4 strings, and you got that chord. Now I'm going to do an interesting configuration for D minor 7. I'm going to invert it. And when you invert it, it almost sounds like a major chord. Okay, because I'm putting the F in there. Bar the 3rd fret, put your 3rd finger on 3rd string, 5th fret, that's a C. The D stays where it is, it's on the bar, and then your pinky plays the 4th finger plays the A. If I had that root in there, then it's gonna work. So is the configuration I want you to do. And then for the G dominant 7, I'm gonna have you bar the 3rd fret and put that 2nd finger down. So this is the same dominant 7 used for the A7. Okay, so the turnaround sounds like this: E minor, A7, D minor 7, and G dominant 7. So okay, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play along with the metronome, and I'm going to play the entire song through with chords like that. And I did want to address, because there was a question came up in class about first endings and second endings. When you see that 1 with a bracket, that means everything that's contained in there until it goes to a repeat sign is what you play the first time. The second time, you skip that. You can't play the first ending. You got to go directly to where it says 2, and that's the second ending, and that includes all the rest of the chords after that. So don't play a first ending when you're doing the chord progression for the second time. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go back up to the top. Go to the second ending. B7 flat 9, E minor. F sharp half diminished. B7 flat 9, E minor 2 measures. A minor 7, D9, G major 7. In the chart it stays there. F sharp half diminished, B7 flat 9, here comes the turnaround, E minor, A7, D minor 7, G7, F sharp half diminished, B7 flat 9, E minor. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll make a separate sheet for you, or rather a separate video for you, which will have just that and no talking or anything like that, and possibly a bass line that goes with it. Okay?